Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 2, text number 13. Dehinosmin yada dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tada dehandra praptir dhirastatrana muhyadi. This is one of the famous verses explaining about the soul's transmigration from one body to another body. While we are in this body, we keep changing the body. How is that? From infant to boy, boy to adolescent, adolescent to youthhood, from youth to old age. Similarly, from old age, the living entity move to a new body in some other atmosphere according to its karma. Now, these changes are happening, that is the scheduled change, and no one can actually stop. You cannot stop your changing the body from youth to old age or boyhood to young age. And everyone rejoice up to the living entity coming into young age. Everyone rejoice. But from young age to old age, that particular living entity begin to think. Things are actually changing now. I'm getting old. Now I want to vacate, or I have to vacate this place, or I have to vacate this body. So he begins to think. Until youth, up to 40 years is actually the youth. And 40 years the youth ends. Then 40 to 50 is pre old age, just like a pre winter. Like that, there is a pre old age. From 40 to 50 is the pre old age. Then from 50, the old age really begins. That is the structure of this human body. So, in this way, the body actually changes. But when the body changes, we do not cry for it or lament for it, right? From boyhood to youth, nobody mourn about it, but the body has changed. So Shastra is saying, or Krishna is telling, when you change from old age to a new body in some other atmosphere, your transmigration has taken place from this body to some other body or other country, other religion, or somewhere you are born and nobody knows. But that living entity knows how he is actually changing the body, but he forgets that. How is that? Just like you are coming from your house to this temple. I do not know where you have come from. And after coming to the temple, you go from here. And I still do not know where you have gone. But you know where you are coming from and where you are going to. Similarly, when a new child born in a new house, the parents are very happy to have a new child. But this child actually coming from some other old man's body. In other words, another house, an old man passed away, and he is leaving that body and going to get a new body. And he does that. But we neither know where he is coming from, nor we know where he is going to. But that particular person knows I'm leaving this house and going to another house. But because material nature does not want you to remember your past life, which will be a trouble for you in a new atmosphere, therefore they erase your old memory, old gross memories. But however, the subtle memories are there. But subtle memories, more often we take it as an illusion or maybe an imagination because we do not have a direct experience of that events that is going on in the body. So in this way, the body changes. We are Dehi, we occupies this body, but we are not this body. So because we occupies this body changes from young boyhood to youth to old age. Similarly, the soul leaves this body and go to another body. Therefore, Krishna says, Dhiras tatrana muhyadi. Those who are sober and wise, they do not lament for these changes happening to the body. They only focus upon the spirit soul. So, therefore, the Lord actually begin to train him and make him understand the difference between the soul and body. Now we can see that we are not this body. I am not this hand. This is my hand, not I hand. This is my head, not I head. It's not my, this is my ear, not I ear. My nose, not I nose. My heart is not I heart. My mind is not I mind. It means you are also not this mind. My intelligence, it means I am not intelligent also. Why? As long you possess something, you are not that. You are proprietor of that. Just like taking a spectacle. So this is my spectacle. It is an external object. But you are telling that it is mine. But you are not saying it is I. So my leg, my hand, my heart, my mind, my false ego, my ahanga is troubling me, bothering me, helping me. All these things you would say. So which means with the cooperation of this body, you can live in this world. If the body does not cooperate with you, even though you are a spirit soul, you cannot live peacefully in this world. Any part of this body gets damaged, then you cannot exhibit your real consciousness. So the spirit soul occupies this body. And how we understand there is a spirit soul? We understand the spirit soul because there is consciousness. The symptom of the soul is consciousness. Exactly like the symptom of the sun, it's shine. Sometimes when shine happens in the early morning, the sun hasn't even risen, but you can understand the sun is come. You understand by its light. Similarly, you can understand the soul's existence by its consciousness. So what is this consciousness? Consciousness is consists of desires, different desires. Because you have a desire means you are a conscious being. A stone, a table, a steel, or anything that cannot manifest consciousness because it is not a conscious being. So conscious being means we understand by its desires. And you can see the desires of the people. There is no limit for their desires. Even if you ask a child, what do you want to be? What do you desire in the future? He will say, I want to be a scientist, a politician, a prime minister or president or pilot. I want to own an industry. I am preparing for that. I want to be an engineer. So in this way, or doctor, in this way, he would tell you all of his plan for the future. And these plans cannot be done by a stone or a brick. It can be done only by human beings because they have a consciousness, developed consciousness. Animals also have consciousness. Animals' consciousness and all other living entities' consciousness is restricted to how to eat nicely, not even nicely, how to eat, how to sleep, how to defend, how to have some sex. So this is the animal consciousness. So those who are only living for these is considered to be a person leading an animal life in the human body. So therefore, we have to raise our consciousness to the level is called Krishna consciousness. We may be able to, in between, there are different levels of consciousness. Devi consciousness, demigod consciousness, Mahadev consciousness, Brahma consciousness, Indra, Chandra, Varuna consciousness, Shanishara consciousness, Ganesh consciousness, and there is also Krishna consciousness, and which actually is in the top level. So you actually go there. Why? Because Krishna is the origin. Yesham Purusham Sakshat Atma Prabhavam Isharam. We have mentioned the other day. The Atma Prabhavam, the soul, originates from the Supreme Brahman, the personality of God, Lord Sri Krishna. Therefore, when we start realizing that personality, we are in a right consciousness. So, consciousness, the symptom of the consciousness is the desire. But because we have forgotten that level, that origin of the soul is Lord Sri Krishna, we developed millions of different desires to obtain different things. And one after another, we try to fulfill our desires. And going on and on and on and on and on, and we die like cats and dogs. Because we haven't got the higher consciousness. Now itself, we can actually analyze our consciousness. What am I thinking? What I am actually doing? What is my consciousness level now? Is it actually still demanding something, material thing? Constantly, I want to have this empire, that car, this mansion, this girl, that boy. In this way, it is, going on. So we can understand where we are actually. So if we think that we haven't come to that real consciousness, which means we are in the lower platform. Mostly it's like a beast consciousness. Jalajanava lakshani stavara lakshavamshari. Krumayo rudra sankyakaha pakshinam dasha lakshanam. Trimsha lakshani pashavaha chadur lakshani manushya. In the beginning of the creation, we entered into the water. The whole planet is covered by water. Then as the time goes means 9 lakhs types of aquatics are there in the water. So this water body will be there until a spirit soul pass through all these 9 lakhs variety of fishes. Then accordingly the water drains up and the land becomes visible. Why? Because the last fish that you have passed through, after that you have to evolve to the trees and plants. It means when water dries up, the trees and plants come. So the living entity enter into the trees or plants. In the beginning, it is a plant. Only plant can become a tree later stage. Just like in the beginning, all are teeny babies. That baby grows due course of time or change its body. Then trees and plants. So the living entity has to go through every single trees and plants of 11 lakhs. 9 lakhs Jalaja Navalakshani Stavara Lakshavamshari. In the trees and plants kingdom, there are 11 lakhs types of trees and plants. In our botanical garden, we can actually see maybe 1,000 variety of trees and plants or 2,000. Once I was in Los Angeles botanical garden, I asked them how many varieties of trees and plants you have here. They said, sir, about 2,000 variety. Shastra is talking about 11 lakhs. If you go to an aquarium, You can ask them how many aquatics are there, and fishes and various other aquatic. They may actually say we have, say, 500 varieties, sir. So everything is limited here in this world because our consciousness cannot actually go so high where we can actually find these all 9 lakhs types of tree aquatics and 11 lakhs types of trees and plants because it is a universal structure, not just earth planet. Earth planet may have 10,000, 20,000, but there are other oceans, sugarcane oceans, liquor oceans, sweet water ocean, yogurt ocean, milk ocean. All these oceans, they all have aquatics. We have no information. We are just frog in the well. Kuba manduba nyaya means a frog in the well only know the dimension of that little well, does not know about the Pacific Ocean. So we have a little intelligence. Using that intelligence, how can I actually get my daily sustenance materials, objects, just go around and try to get. So here, the spirit soul, after passing through fishes, then comes to the trees. Then after trees and plants comes, there are insects and bacteria and reptiles. So that is 20 lakhs types of reptiles and bacteria and insects and bees. So you enter into that life and go through 20 lakhs life in there, in that variety. Then comes to Pakshinam Dashalakshanam. There are 10 lakhs types of Pakshis, birds, different kinds. You have seen every country has a different birds, colorful birds, higher and lower, small and bigger birds. We have to go through every single of them. Then comes to animal life. That is Trimsha Lakshani Pashavaha. If you go to a zoo, how many birds, how many animals you can see? Maybe 100 variety. That's all. But Trimsha Lakshani Pashavaha, there are 30 lakhs types of animals. You and me and everyone have gone through all those species of life, and we have come to human form of life. That is called Chadur Lakshani Manushya. 4 lakhs types of human beings. Out of that, according to the scripture, 35 to 36,000 human varieties are on the earth planet. Demigods are humans. Demons, Danavas, Rakshasas, they are all in the human categories. But their nature and features and characteristics are actually different. So they are all distributed in different planetary systems. But human beings are 36. So out of 4 lakhs, 36,000 are the human beings. When you come to the human form of life, you have 7 human form of life. The last form of life in the human is Brahmana's life by quality. If a Brahmana is strictly following his Brahmanical profession, then that is his last life. But if a Brahmana has taken some other job, like a Kshatriya's job or Vaishya's job, still he has 2 more life to go. So it means that is not his end of human birth. So he may have 2 more. So in this way, the life is given 7 times. So means the human form of life. So within these 7 lifetimes, if you can capture the service of the Supreme Brahman, the personality of Godhead, even if you haven't completed 100%, even if you started with 1% or 2%, then your human form is guaranteed in next life also. So you continue the human form of life by rendering devotion service, by chanting or hearing. Out of this 9 process, you take one of the process. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. One of them you actually take. Even if you have done 2%, you get a human form, and from that human form, new human form, you start from third percentage. So you finished 2% and you start from 3% in next life. And you couldn't complete that, you did it about 40% in next life. Again, you get a human form of birth, and where you start from the 41st, 41 percentage. So you start from. In that way, you have to come to the 100 percentage of devotion service. That time, you will be transferred to the spiritual world. So the human form of life is 7. And if a Brahman who has fallen off from his Brahmanical culture and doing materialistic actions only, then he is put back into the fish life, and by evolutionary process, he has to come back again. So, in every life, these changes are actually there. The first, they take birth, whether it is a tree, plants, insects, bacteria, fish, um, animals, birds, anything. You have these changes. You take birth, then you grow, whether it is a rat or a cat or a bird or a snake, they all have a baby form, then youth form, then they reproduces, then they become old, then they die. Whether it's a cow, buffalo, ox, or any lion, tiger, everyone has this lifestyle. So Krishna is telling everyone born in this world have to go through these changes. And if you know it is simply a soul taking the body and living the body, why you are mourning on it? Why you are crying for this body? So that is Kaumaram Yavananjara, a sober, never lament for this dead body while it is living or dead. So become a sober, Krishna says. So this sober things actually helps us detached from this material attachment and enter into pure consciousness life. And I thank you. We will continue tomorrow. Hare Krishna.